A few quick and awkward moments in the backseat of a car or twin bed, and then bang, you are here, on Earth, a brand new human. We pawn you off on babysitters, soccer coaches, daycare, talk a lot about the work you'll need to live, and then eject you out of the house, a confirmed adult. But what classes or courses did you get on the real job? Now, we work 40 hours a week, and there are 3 times that many hours that you spend being you, a human, with no training, no guidance, and less than ideal people that you kind of trust. Maybe it's time for some adult education. Course of study, Professional Human 101. Okay, people, let's settle down. We got a long day ahead of us. The 7 stages of becoming a professional human. It may seem counterintuitive because we think of adulthood as the start of something, but becoming an adult can be looked at like the younger you dying. Now, as morbid as that sounds, there is a deep and meaningful relationship between the process of becoming an adult professional human and the 7 stages of grief. Number 1, shock. Feelings of shock are unavoidable in nearly every situation, even if we feel that we have had time to prepare for whatever loss there is. We know it's going to happen, but not right then, not on that day. Some people in shock often appear to have normal behavior, without a lot of emotions because the news hasn't fully sunk in yet. For our purposes, the moving out or going to college or starting our adult life is something we knew would happen, but even though we thought we were prepared, we find ourselves shocked by a good many things. As some have said, adulting is hard. We seem okay to others, but we are not really ready in our heads for what is happening. This can be offset by listening to others that have made the jump to life speed. Instead of thinking that you got this thing down that you have 0 experience at. Stage 2, denial. Many people experience denial after a bereavement. They know something has happened, but it just doesn't feel real. In addition to the experiences of shock and denial, people often describe having a mental fog. This can include forgetfulness, lack of concentration, sleeplessness, lack of motivation, repetitive thoughts, irritability, and inability to make a decision. An extension of shock, denial can be very harmful to your new life. Checking out when things get stressful, forgetting things, and letting feelings of being overwhelmed reduce your motivation. All of these factors can be mitigated by having a plan based on factual needs and seeking guidance as often as possible. 3. Anger. It's perfectly normal to feel anger at some type of loss, but often people try to keep this stage of grief hidden. For us, this comes from a lack of knowledge, a lack of understanding of others, and perhaps even a skewed view of reality that is based upon your hometown or your close surroundings all of your life. When we are faced with things that do not follow the same course of experience that we have had in our world, it can be confusing as to why things are the way they are. A good example of this is when you move to another state and you get a ticket for your car inspection you did not know you needed, or an extra deposit needed that drains your savings. You might feel angry about these things, yet they are not something that's happening to you. They are just happening, required, and legal. This stage of the young life can lead you to having a well-adjusted outlook on the world or a view that comes from a place of feelings of being victimized by your surroundings. It should make you adjust the way you plan and get informed, but the wrong lesson taken, well, that can last a lifetime. Number 4, bargaining. The bargaining stage is about making promises to yourself or a higher being, asking the universe for a chance to put things right. A bereaved person may seek reason where there is none and may feel guilty about how they've behaved or felt in some way to blame. This can be the outcome of the wrong lessons. A time-consuming and energy-wasting life path that isolates you in a world where everything is out of your control. You are guilty of not knowing enough and not being prepared and never able to make reasonable goals for yourself. Being able to forgive yourself for knowing what you can control and what is out of everyone's control is essential to overcome this stage of becoming a professional human. Number 5 is depression. The jumble of emotions that usually accompanies the grief process can typically lead to the feelings of depression, isolation, anxiety, and even a feeling of dread. You have seen people that never got past this stage in their lives. They cling to the past, afraid of the future. They cannot understand why things had to change. And as they move forward in life, they idealize the past and vilify the present, wanting so badly to return to a thing that is long gone that they never develop into their new adult life. They still want to drink with their friends, hate responsibility. They spend their entire life trying to recreate their past in some way. You might have seen these people that you could say had peaked in high school. They didn't peak in high school. They simply never tried to do anything else. 6. Acceptance and hope. Humans by nature crave contact, connection, and support. And at some stage in the grieving process, will want to engage with friends and family again. Acceptance is about realizing you can't change the circumstances, but you can gain some control over how you respond. A better way of saying this is the only thing you can control is how you react to life. This is verbatim from the 7 stages of grief, as it is completely applicable to the transition from youth to professional human. Acceptance of what has changed and cannot be recreated or relived, and the hope that there is a new life and one that you have the most control over. It's important to note that these people who are always looking back cannot see the parts of the past that they disliked. You can hear it in the way they tell you about it. They never talk about all the restrictions of their youth. They only highlight when they broke those rules. The limitations placed on them are reframed as heartwarming tales about how much they were loved and worried about. The long boring days in school are shortened, and the great nights or 2 each month is the story arc. The past must be put in its place and remembered for all its good and its bad parts. 7. Processing grief. There's no right or wrong way to grieve. The process is highly individual. In addition, there's no quick fix. The healing process takes time and varies from person to person. Importantly, there is no normal time frame, so be patient with yourself. We see these things come up in conversations with young adults again and again, talking about where they think they should be at this age. Money, jobs, family, partner, world domination. There is no requirement for you at any age to be at some random and arbitrary place in life. This kind of thinking is a hangover from the 12 or 16 years you spent in school, subject after subject, grade after grade, as if there is somewhere where you get a diploma and you're set. That part of your life is over, and the worst lie ever told to you has to be revealed and left behind. The lie that there will come a time when you are done, when you are complete. There is no such place, and if there was, you would not want to be there, a place where there is nothing new or surprising, there is no knowledge left to gain. Human life is a journey, a long one that requires your attentions, for you to be inquisitive. It demands your respect and, most of all, your passion. It's not a race, it's an endurance event. So, set small, realistic goals, ensure you're getting enough sleep, and aim for some form of movement each day. Keep a healthy, balanced diet and keep hydrated. And never stop asking why. The ancient Greeks, at the time of a person's death, did not assess whether or not they were wealthy, had purchased whatever they wanted, loved whoever they wanted. The only question they asked was, did this person live with passion? That to them was essentially being a professional human. What was true then is true even more so today. Professional humans live with passion. And you should know that.